know why most people lose, kid. Why they never build anything that lasts past the next rainstorm. It's because they're slaves. Oh, not to iron chains or brick walls. Nothing so honest. No, they're slaves to their own little chemical leaks. Their emotions. Yeah, that's right. They throw tantrums when they should be plotting. They sob into their sleeves when they should be laying bricks. They get angry, so violently, stupidly angry, and blow their own house down when they should have just sat there, silent and smiling. They feel some tiny, insignificant spark inside their chest, and boom, they self-destruct. Like puppets on a string, dancing for a puppeteer they can't even see. And the world? The world doesn't give a single solitary damn how you feel, kid. It really doesn't. The world only kneels to what you build. It only respects what you can lock down and control. You want to know how real empires are made? You master the beast inside first. You take every drop of rage, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every single ounce of agonizing pain that life spits in your face, and you chain it up. Deep down in the cellar, you make it work for you. You don't work for it. When they leave you, you don't throw your fists at the sky. When the world turns its back on you, you don't scream into the void, "Oh, why me? Why now?" No, you smirk. You stay absolutely, terrifyingly silent, and you build, brick by brick, in the pitch black, with bloody fingernails, if that's what it takes. Because that's the only way anything real gets built. By people who refuse to let a passing mood dictate their destiny. The mask of strength. People think the strong ones are the ones who make the most noise. The ones who explode, who scream, who punch holes in drywall. Nah, that's just weakness wearing a loud mask. Real strength? Real strength is freezing cold. It's quiet. It's a man getting stabbed in the back and not even flinching. It's a woman getting betrayed by everyone she trusted and not letting a single tear fall where the vultures can see it. It's looking at your absolute worst, most miserable day and whispering, "All right, now watch what I do with this." Feelings are wild dogs, kid. If you don't put them on a short leash, they'll rip you apart from the inside out. They'll have you doing the absolute stupidest things. Burning down bridges you actually needed to cross. Kneeling when you should have stood tall. Feelings make absolute fools out of intelligent people every single day. The ones who win? The ones who really win? They're the ones who lock the dogs in a steel cage and only let them out when it's time to hunt. Calculated, controlled, deadly. Not every insult needs a reply. Not every betrayal needs a big, dramatic revenge scene. Sometimes, the absolute best revenge, the only revenge that actually matters, is becoming completely untouchable. Not by screaming or begging, but by being so cold, so intensely focused, that their petty little arrows can't even pierce your skin anymore. Furnace and fire. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to become a lifeless robot. No, no, no. I'm telling you to own the fire. There's a big difference. Look at it this way. A fire inside a furnace is a beautiful thing. It keeps the house warm. It cooks your food. But that exact same fire, let loose in the middle of your living room, it burns the whole damn house down. Same fire, different level of control. I'm telling you to build your life with fire in your bones, but never, ever let it show on your face. Let them think you forgot. Let them think you're too stupid or too soft to care. Meanwhile, you're stacking your wins in the dark, followed by a sudden sharp of pure disgust. The sound of a tongue clicking rhythmically, slowly fading into a quiet, menacing hum. Look at you. No, really, look at you. How long have you been playing this little game? How long have you been lying to that face in the mirror? You've been wearing that mask they handed you for so long that you've forgotten what your own skin feels like. It's a cheap plastic mask, kid. It doesn't even fit you. It's too tight around the eyes. It pinches your jaw. But you wear it anyway, pretending it's your actual face. But let's talk about how it feels. Let's get real for a second. How does it feel deep down in your chest, every single time you smile, when you actually want to rip someone's throat out? How does it feel to nod your head like a good little puppy, when everything inside of you is screaming, absolute bloody murder? Oh, it eats you alive, doesn't it? It's like a slow-burning acid dripping right onto your soul. But the best part? No one sees it. No one cares to look. To them, you aren't a living, breathing human being. No, no. To them, you are just manageable. A harmless, predictable little pawn. A nice, quiet piece they can slide across their chessboard whenever it suits them. But I'll let you in on a little secret. A beautiful, dark secret. If you want them to see you, not the neat, polite little doll they manufactured, but the real you, you have to bury the version of yourself they built. You have to tear it apart, piece by miserable, bleeding piece. You have to take that old self, drag it behind the tool shed, and put a bullet right through its temple. Burn it to absolute ash. It is the only way to make them feel the freezing, hollow emptiness they've been feeding you all these years. And oh, when they finally feel it, when they look at what you've actually become, it will rot them from the inside out. Beautiful, isn't it? Just poetic. That cuts off into a harsh, dry cough, a low, mocking whisper. Let's analyze the mechanics of your pain, shall we? Every single person who has ever stepped on you, who has ever lied to you, betrayed you, or made you feel like dirt. They didn't do it by accident. They did it because they knew they could. They looked at you and they saw the cracks in your armor. They saw those little moments where you doubted your own worth, where you hesitated, where you played nice just to avoid a fight. And like the good little beasts they are, they dug their claws right into those cracks. Why? Because weakness invites cruelty, kid. It's the oldest law of the jungle. It's like dumping a bucket of fresh blood into the ocean. You can't get mad at the sharks for circling when you're the one bleeding all over the water. But here is the twist. Here is where the fun begins. They don't expect you to do anything about it. No, no, no. They expect you to do what you've always done. They expect you to fold, to break, to lie there quietly in the dirt, bleeding out, while they feast on whatever is left of your self-esteem. But what if you didn't? What if, instead of trying to patch up those little cracks in your old self, you took a sledgehammer and shattered the entire damn statue? What if you killed the version of yourself that was capable of being controlled? Just close your eyes and imagine it. Imagine the look on their smug, pathetic faces when they realize they've completely lost their grip on your collar. The leash snapped, and they're left holding an empty string. That's not just revenge, sweetheart. That is absolute, pure liberation. We live in a world built on lies. They sell you this gorgeous, glittering dream of kindness, forgiveness, second chances, and happily ever afters. They write little poems about it. You're moving, growing, rising, until the day they finally look up and realize you are so far ahead, they couldn't touch you even if they had wings. And by then, it's far too late. They laughed when you were face down in the dirt, but they'll bow when you're standing over them. But only if you don't get emotional and burn yourself out like every other fool who couldn't handle the heat of the game. Let me tell you a secret, kid. Life doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if your heart is in pieces. It doesn't care if you did everything right and still got absolutely screwed over. The clock keeps ticking. The world keeps spinning, with or without you. So, what are you going to do? You have to be colder than life itself. You have to become a storm that nobody sees coming until the roof is already flying off. Quiet, ruthless, patient. Master your emotions or die a slave to them. Those are the only two choices on the menu. There is no third option. You feel rage? Good. Use it to work twice as hard. You feel sad? Perfect. Use that heavy, dark energy to laser focus your mind. You feel betrayed? Excellent. Let that be the gasoline that fuels your grind, not the heavy chains that drag you down to the bottom of the lake. Every legend, every empire in history was built by people who were stabbed, laughed at, and broken. But they didn't fold. They didn't go crying to the public for sympathy. They got up. They kept building. They kept bleeding in silence until one day they looked down and realized they owned the very things that tried to destroy them. And you can do the exact same thing. If you're ruthless enough with yourself, if you stop pampering your precious feelings and start ruling them like a king. Because in the real world, kings don't have public meltdowns. Warriors don't explain their pain to the enemy. Builders don't waste time crying over broken bricks. They just sweep them away and grab a new one. They'll tell you it's healthy to just feel your feelings all the time. They treat falling apart like it's some kind of brave achievement. Oh, look at me. I'm so vulnerable. Nah, falling apart just makes you easy to break. It makes you easy to predict, easy to control, and incredibly easy to crush. They teach you weakness because they want you weak. They know the exact second you start thinking with your heart instead of your head, you're finished. You're a target. They want you soft, emotional, and perfectly predictable. But you're not here to play their little game. You're here to be unstoppable. You're here to be the monster they can't tame, the ghost they can't catch. So, if you want to be something more than just another casualty of this city, you better kill the part of you that needs to cry about every little scratch. You better bury the part of you that begs for pity, sympathy, or a shoulder to lean on. Nobody is coming to save you, kid. Nobody is going to wipe those tears away. They're far too busy laughing at you when you trip. Trust me, I've seen it. I've lived it. You get one choice. Master the storm inside you, or drown in it, like the rest of the garbage. The test of the wolves. People will test you. Oh, they will test you until you think your ribs are going to crack. Life will rip out the things you love most, just to see if you're strong enough to keep walking. It'll throw you to the concrete, pin you down, and whisper right in your ear. Stay down. It's easier down here. And most people do. They stay down. They wallow. They sob. They tell themselves, it's too hard. It's not fair. It's not my fault. They wait for a miracle. They pray for someone to come carry them. And while they're sitting there, rotting in their own self-pity, the wolves of this world are out there eating, conquering, and building. Because real power, real dominance, it isn't given to the ones who cry the loudest. It's seized by the ones who suffer the most in absolute silence and still refuse to break. Do you think the kings of history got a fair shot? You think they were hugged and validated into greatness? No, they were hated, betrayed, left entirely alone in the dark, and they used it. They turned that agonizing pain into fuel, that betrayal into weapons, and that crushing loneliness into an empire. That is the secret. Pain is the price of admission. Silence is the strategy. Mastery is the reward. You have to be a different breed to survive this. You have to sit there with your heart shattered into a million pieces, your mind screaming, your fists shaking, and you have to force a smile. When the world forgets you, when they spit on your name, when they doubt everything you've ever dreamed of, you have to act like it means absolutely nothing to you. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't. Their opinions, their little betrayals, their childish games, it's just noise. Irrelevant, static noise. Focus on yourself. Focus on your craft, your mission. Move in silence. Let your absence scream louder than any words ever could. Let your progress be the cold slap across their faces. Don't chase closure. Don't beg for apologies. You don't need validation from the same clowns who didn't have the vision to see who you were in the first place. You become so solid, so calculated, that even the people who left you for dead cannot deny your existence when you rise. Control. It is always about control. You must be colder than your circumstances, colder than your heartbreak, colder than your enemies. Not heartless, just perfectly controlled. You feel the fire, but you choose not to burn. You feel the hurt, but you refuse to break. You sit with the rage, you sharpen it, until it becomes a blade they never see coming. Because the moment you lose your temper, you hand them the keys to your castle. The moment you get emotional, you show them exactly where to stab you next. But when you stay still, when you stay dead silent, they panic. They start to wonder. Is he planning something? Did he move on? Did he get stronger? That confusion is your power. Silence is your armor. Discipline is your sword. You think mastery feels good, kid? No. It feels like a war inside your chest every single morning. It feels like swallowing knives just to get out of bed. It feels like stitching up your own bleeding wounds in the dark because nobody is coming with a bandage. Mastery hurts. Growth hurts. Discipline hurts like hell. But you know what hurts worse? Regret. Looking back 10 years from now, realizing you folded like a cheap deck of cards because you were too soft to handle the pressure. Realizing you threw away your shot at greatness because you wanted to cry about how unfair it all was. Pain is inevitable, but regret? Regret is a choice. You either suffer the pain of discipline now, or you suffer the pain of regret forever. There is no third option. And let's be honest, nobody really cares how you feel anyway. Read that again in your head. Nobody. Not your friends, not your enemies, not the people you thought would always have your back. They might pretend to care for a minute. They might pat you on the shoulder and say some nice, empty words when it's convenient. But when it's you versus life, you are standing entirely alone. The clock keeps ticking. The strong keep building. And if you're sitting there drowning in your own sadness, someone colder, someone hungrier, someone who doesn't give a damn about fairness is out there winning your prize. I'm not saying kill your heart. You need that fire to survive. But you better put a heavy leash on it. Because if you don't, every enemy you face will play you like a cheap fiddle. They'll know exactly which buttons to push to watch you fold. But the ones who rise, they are completely unreadable. A black wall, a locked vault. You can't tell what they're thinking, if they're hurting, or where they're about to strike. So next time you feel that rage boiling up in your throat, next time sadness claws at your chest, don't react. Don't give them the satisfaction of seeing you bleed. Stay still, move smarter, build harder, strike colder. Turn every single emotion into a weapon they can't see, can't predict, and can't defend against. Master your emotions, kid, or die a forgotten fool, crying about what could have been.